what they have announced in terms of the amount of 70,000 happen to be where we are now. So now, but the good thing about it is that we will not wait for another 5 years to come and review. Rather than accepting on a figure that you wait for 5 years, it's like you have to now negotiate even 2 times within 5 years with a view to going up. That is one of the reasons why we decided to reach where we are today, because of the proviso that we can review in the next 3 years. The other one, we came with other issues in the basket, like the issue of SANU, NASU, and others, especially with that front by the Commissioner of Police, FCT. We brought it to Mr. President and talked on the need, for that matter to be addressed. And magnanimously, we asked the agencies concerned to work out the modalities for the payment of those people, those workers in the universities. So far, that's where we are. So we need to, although he promised some incentives, like the CNG, whatever, which will lessen the burden that the Nigerian workers are passing through. But you can see that we are taking this with mixed feeling because of the situation of the economy. But we have to move ahead, despite the situation. And the negotiation can linger, coming from 62 to 70. And then with the promise that we'll come back soon to negotiate it. We are taking it back to our constituency to see how we can get a buy-in. So that's what has transpired this afternoon, except there's another question.
To see whether we can get a buy-in. That means you can't say you have.
Can I interject at this time? We will not allow POC speech, then we take questions. So it's a...
Don't occupy absolute powers. We have our constituents. The National Executive Council meeting, we are going to report back to them. And in most instances, they may likely approve what we have done. But this is not, we can't talk with absolute finality. So that was what I meant by that.
Today is a happy day for Nigeria. You recall that last week we had a meeting here, and the organized private sector and the subnationals have also held their various meetings with Mr. President following the submission of the tripartite agreement to Mr. President. Labour came last week. They had meeting with Mr. President. They adjourned, asked for adjournment for a week to go and consult further. They did those consultations. They have come back today, and we have met with Mr. President. We're happy to announce today that both the federal government and the organized labor have agreed on an increase on the 62,000 naira minimum wage. The new national minimum wage that we expect Mr. President to submit to the National Assembly for legislation is 70,000 naira. But that is not all. There is also a boost, like Mr. President has assured, in ensuring that massive investment is going to be made in the area of infrastructure. There is also a deepening of the investment of the federal government in renewable energy. More money is going to go into the acquisition of more buses, the CNG buses. Nigeria is going to be more CNG compliant, according to the president. We are moving in this transition to renewable. And all other things that Mr. President has assured Labour, the issue of SANU and NASU is also going to be looked at. And we are happy, we are very thankful of the role that the organized labor has done today. They recognize the president's role in ensuring, or the federal government's role in ensuring, that we have the local government autonomy, and also ensuring that both the organized labor and the government are on the same page today. They have seen the magnanimity of the president. And today, the leadership of Labour said they didn't come here for negotiation. Not at all. They came here in their deep sense of patriotism to ensure that Nigeria remains united, Nigeria becomes more prosperous. And it is in that spirit that they are in agreement with what the federal government has done today. We want to thank Labour for their patriotism. We also want to thank Mr. President, the federal government, the subnationals, and the organized private sector for going through this painstaking effort, but also ensuring that at the end of the day, Nigeria is the winner for it all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very well for all Nigerians, because at least we see an end in sight. Mr. President assured all Nigerians that he's their president and would not disappoint, and he has shown that this afternoon. Recall that Labour saw Mr. President last week, and they asked that he should give them 1 week to consult more. And of course, at the end of the day, the consultation came very fruitful, because Mr. President said he has to be a father, that it's not issue of law who is right or who will blink the first, that he is our father, like he always said, that we should end the issue of give me 1,000 and add 1,000 and all that. That first and foremost, that the review of this minimum wage policy has to be reduced to 3 years. That is, 5 years is too long a time to get any minimum wage review. That's not very wealthy. And of course, that Labour should look at the indices of the economy and accept 70,000 naira minimum wage. And of course, that it has to be reviewed every three years, not more than that, of course, so that we're able to evaluate and see whether our economy is picking up or whether something has to be done further, considering the sensitivity of the issue. And of course, he promised and asked that the Minister of Finance, coordinating economy and budget and the economic planning, should make sure that they go back to books, because he has the discretion to look into of NASU, ASU, and SANU and all that, and so that their money should be paid, and they should work out the modalities, whether it's 50% or whatever, but that he has given that waiver to be paid, because of course that it's issue of no work, no pay, and that should has to be led to rest. And apart from that, I believe other things that was discussed was President reassuring Nigerians that he's not going to rest. He is working diligently to make sure that our economy recovers. That has to be taken into consideration, that he's not going to joke with the economy and welfare of Nigerians.
Just for clarity, did you say the president touched on the issue of the ongoing protest by sea?
That's why he said that they should, Minister of Finance, Education was there, and then economic planning, budget and economic planning should go and work out the modalities to pay their money.